Hello, everyone. This is Jay Dobbins, your host of the Marvel DC Universe Fan Club. We are now episode 218, and I'll be doing my review on Charlie's Angels. So, spoiler alert, if you have not seen Charlie's Angels, I strongly advise you do not listen to this episode. You've been warned. So, obviously it's a reboot. So, anyway, a team of angels, led by senior operative John Bosley, captured international embezzler Johnny Smith in Rio de Janeiro and turned him over to American authorities. A year later, the European division of the Townsend Agency is informed that Elena Hoffman, an engineer and programmer employed by entrepreneur Alexander Brock, wants to expose her superiors, namely Brock's head of the department, Peter Fleming, for covering up a discovery about how an energy conservation device that she helped invent, named Callisto, has the potential to trigger fatal seizures when used. So she meets with operative Edgar Bosley to turn over her findings, but an assassin named Hodak ambushes the meeting and subsequently kills Edgar and leaves Elena to drown. Edgar's protege, Jane Cano, rescues her and brings her to operative Rebecca Bosley with the help of her partner, Sabrina Wilson. So meanwhile, John, who has since retired from the agency, discovers that Rebecca has tagged him with the agency's specialized subdermal implant without his knowledge. Rebecca tasks Jane and Sabina, not Sabrina, but Sabina, joined by Elena, with breaking into Brock's corporate headquarters to steal the remaining Callisto prototypes before they can be duplicated. Elena finds one of the devices, but is forced to use it to escape, killing a security guard in the process. While the other prototypes are already gone, and Fleming is identified as the thief. Of course, Rebecca tracks him to Istanbul, where Jane utilizes one of her old intelligence contacts, Fatima, to locate Fleming. They track him to a remote rock quarry where the supposed imprisoned Smith is revealed to be Fleming's intermediary for selling Callisto. Hodak is also present and kills Fleming before the Angels break up the sale. And Fleming suddenly disappears, allowing Smith and Hodak to escape with the prototypes. Returning to their safe house, Sabina shares her growing belief that Rebecca is secretly working against the agency and has been manipulating them to steal Callisto for her own benefit. So while the three ponder Sabina's suspicion, safe house is bombed. Rebecca shows up only to be shot by John, who has come to rescue Elena. Jane and Sabina manage to survive and seek medical help from Fatima. Rebecca reappears and explains that John is the real traitor and that he has spent the last few decades secretly building his own network within the agency after he was passed over to succeed the late Charlie Townsend. So John takes Elena to a party hosted by Brock, who reveals himself as the mastermind behind the attempt to assassinate Elena and, unbeknownst to him, John's plan to weaponize Callisto. Using Elena's colleague Langston as a hostage, John forces her to program a Callisto device to kill both Langston and herself before leaving. The Angels, having deduced his plan due to the information provided by Smith, who is later revealed to have defected to their side, show up and rescue Elena and Langston. Elena, having already disabled the Callisto device, Jane exacts revenge by impaling Hodak on a spike. While Rebecca catches up with John and his men, outnumbered, she has other angels posing as guests subdue the men, after which Sabina knocks out John with a punch. Brock is arrested for conspiracy, and Jane and Langston start a relationship. And Elena is reunited as an angel by the Towson Agency after passing a series of rigorous training exercises and receives an official angel's tattoo. So, honestly, I'm just gonna be real with you guys. The movie gets a 0. The only reason why I wanted to watch the film because of, the three women were pretty hot. So, but other than that, well, especially the tall British chick. But other than that, but yeah, Ella, Ella Valenska. I went to this movie mainly to see her. But yeah, the movie was written and directed by Elizabeth Banks, who's an actress, best known for the Hunger Games series. She played a role in that. She was also Betty Grant in the Spider-Man movies, the Sam Raimi ones, though, of course. She was also in The 40-Year-Old Virgin. She was in that movie. Man, I cannot remember that movie. With that little kid as a evil Superman. That movie. But yeah, and of course the Pitch Perfect movies. But yeah, she directed and written the movie. I'm gonna be honest with you, the movie was garbage. Uh, it gets a 0 out of 10, and the movie only made $52 million with a production budget of 48 to 55 million. So that's very bad. The movie bombed, and the reason why: the writing sucked. The action, was slow. Hodak was the only person I actually liked in the film because when he was fighting, he was like serious. But it was, the fights were cheesy except for Hodak when he was fighting. But I didn't like the reboot. I didn't like the idea that the movie was feminine. Okay, that's one thing, but the movie was too feminine. It was too much wokeness. And how Hollywood nowadays puts politics in the movies, which makes the movie suck anyway. But yeah, so acting was terrible. Women were hot, but the acting was terrible. The writing was terrible. Um, it was pretty draggy. The women were too feminine, so that's what's. I mean, Drew Barrymore, Cameron Diaz, and Lucy Liu did a better job than these women. And they're hot too, still. But yeah, and on top of that, the Drew Barrymore, the Lucy Liu, Cameron Diaz version of Charlie's Angels made way more money than this Charlie's Angels reboot. So just like and the only way they were connected, those three, the three main stars, Drew Barrymore, the other Charlie's Angels, the previous ones, Lucy Liu, Drew Barrymore, and Cameron Diaz, were connected to the reboot because Bosley was seen. It was pictures of Bosley in his younger years with the original Angels, other Charlie's Angels, and the previous ones. Lucy Liu, Drew Barrymore. I was like, oh, so they were connected into the film because they were shown in a photograph with Patrick Stewart's Bosley. So, yeah. But anyway, the reboot was garbage. Not a movie you want to see a second time. I'm trying to forget that I even saw the movie. And the previous version of Charlie's Angels and Charlie's Angels Full Throttle made way more money than the reboot. So, and the movie would have been good if the women were more serious instead of too feminine. But that's what you have. That's what happens when you add millennials into a Charlie's Angels film. But yeah, of course, Elizabeth Banks, as talented as she is, she complains that the movie didn't make a whole lot of money because of the Marvel films. But here's the thing: if you're too freaking woke and allowing so much feminism and politics into your film, people will want to see it. They don't want to deal with with a whole lot of feminism and politics. Come on, seriously. So there you have it. And despite the movie bombing, now she's directing a new movie called The Invisible Woman. She's that's her new project. You know, but yeah, it is what it is. So I strongly recommend they don't do a sequel. But actually, I don't think they are going to do a sequel after the movie bombed anyway. So, but yeah, that concludes this review. Feel free to visit us and like us on Facebook. We're available on iTunes, Google Play Music app, Spotify, and of course, YouTube.